Hello there, gents. Today I'm going to record a video on how to analyze the selling pressure of a token and how to calculate the liquidity strategy to know when to push certain prices and when to defend, etc. Okay, I'm going to skip the boring part, which is calculating the limit orders here. We need to differentiate the limit orders that are from the algorithm, from an algorithm or from the market maker. So we need to focus on those orders that seem too big. For example, this one is too big, for example, or this one is too big and too round. If it ends in a zero, it's 14,000 tokens exactly. Ugh, that's a bit sus, no? So that these are the orders that I'm referring to when we analyze the selling pressure, how much it's going to take for us to break past certain areas. So that's what we do in the first place for all the exchanges, and then we put everything in a spreadsheet, and then we take the volume profile. Okay, this one I use is volume profile by DGT. What can we understand with this? So if we bring the volume profile down here, we will see and it's a price target that we need to trade around. Okay, this is probably our range for now. We need to take this area, and then here we would be creating a grid from the mid price where we buy. In this area we buy, and in this area we're gonna sell. Okay, on top of that, we're gonna have a pure market making algorithm that is just gonna be variable, and it's gonna follow the orders up and down with a spread, so it's gonna be something like this. This is the price and these are our orders. This zone, when do we want to enter this new zone? This is the question. We need to calculate our liquidity. Let's say our client has, I don't know, $50,000 to do market making and to push the price. So in order to push past this range all the way to 0.11, we need to first calculate how much it's gonna take us. Okay, so going back here, let's say just for the matter of going to 0.1, this is gonna be 11,000. Okay, I don't see any external selling pressure apart from this one, and it is possible that in MEXC that 11,000 order at here 0.1 might be from the same market maker. It could make kind of sense because it's not a round number, as you can see, and we have to verify if it changes over time. If the order has been there for a long time, we check back in 24 hours when the price has changed and see if the orders are remaining there. If they are not there anymore, then we discard it, and we do it with all the orders. So let's say we do one screenshot every 24 hours of the order book in order to calculate which orders are still there and which orders are not. When the orders are not there anymore after 24 hours, we discard them. If they are still there, they are selling pressure forever. So after we do this, let's say the 11,000, it turns out that there's only 2,000 out there. So then we know that if we're at a price of 0.08, then it's gonna take us maybe $5,000, or maybe maybe 5 to 6 to 7k dollars over time to do a pump. Okay, we don't want to do a pump in one candle either. We would like to do a pump over time so it looks more organic. We prefer to do 1% every day, and then in one day when we have to break out past the zones and we really want to kill this liquidity, we need to do big pump. Okay, 30% it can be. At this stage we just break past it, it's gonna drain 3000. Now this 3000 cannot if we're buying at these prices at 0.13, if the revenue of the company is not following on the market making, then we need to help the liquidity of the market maker algorithm somehow. So if we fall back down all the way to 47,000, now we have 47,000 liquidity to the market making. We bought orders at this price range to kill until 0.13. We cleared these orders, so now we have to at least make an average. Okay, so let's say on average we bought at 0.115, so we need to at least sell those $3,000 or $5,000 that we spent at that price range. Okay, at 0.115 in order to not lose money. It's gonna become a new barrier, and hopefully the company can provide the liquidity and it's not just a drainage on the order book or on the market making account. Yeah, so what are we really concluding here? We need to calculate the different price ranges, and we go up and down the chart on price ranges. Okay, we always try to scale up by ranges, and we have to calculate how much it's gonna cost us to defend the price range and to break into a new price range. This is what trade-offs is about in market making. So I hope you like this video. If you want to learn, for example, some valuable information could be calculating the unrealized profits on Polkadot. I don't know how to do it because the block explorer is just too complicated. It might take too much time even, but with Arkham you can easily check at what prices did holders buy, or even in Solana I got plenty of tools to do that. So when you know the unrealized prices at which people bought, you will also know what is the increased unrealized profits from your holders. At what point the profit and loss is going to be supply and loss is going to become supply and profit, and that's a turning point where you have to manage the risk even more. You have to increase the volatility parameter. Okay, you have to increase the spread on the buys in order to protect your capital, because what we're doing as a market maker is push the price up while we protect our capital. Okay,